Inside a sealed capsule, 3 men were strapped to their seats. The air around them was pure oxygen. Then, a spark ignited. They had 17 seconds. They burned alive, screaming, clawing at a hatch that wouldn't open. The day that nearly killed the dream of reaching the moon. Gus Grissom, veteran of Mercury and Gemini, the second American in space, a man who had nearly drowned when his capsule sank in the Atlantic, but came back, fearless. Ed White. He was America's first spacewalker, the man who didn't want to come back inside, who had to be ordered to end his historic EVA because he was having too much fun floating in the void. Roger Chaffee, the rookie, 31 years old. He had never flown in space, and this was supposed to be his moment. They were the crew of Apollo 1, the first manned mission of the program that would put Americans on the moon. They were supposed to orbit Earth for 11 days, test the command module, prove the systems worked, but unfortunately, they never made it off the pad. January 27th started as a routine day. A plugs-out test. The capsule would run on internal power, simulating launch conditions. No fuel and no danger. Or so they thought. Grissom, White, and Chaffee suited up, took the elevator, climbed into the cramped capsule at 1 p.m. They were sealed inside. The hatch had 3 layers. By design, it took 90 seconds to open from the inside. The test was plagued with problems from the start. Communications kept cutting out. Grissom's frustration was clear over the radio. For hours, they troubleshot. Stopped. Started. Stopped again. It was 6:31 p.m. Nearly sunset. They were running behind schedule. And then everything took a left turn and went to hell. A spark, somewhere near Grissom's seat. In the pure oxygen environment, it became an inferno instantly. Ed White reached for the hatch, started the 90 seconds procedure, but they didn't have 90 seconds. The temperature spiked to 1,400 degrees. The pressure inside the capsule ruptured the hull. Black smoke poured out. Outside, technicians ran toward the capsule, but the smoke was toxic and blinding. They couldn't reach the hatch. The astronauts were gone in 17 seconds. When they finally opened the hatch, 5 minutes later, they found 3 bodies. Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee dead. America was in shock. The space program, which had been a symbol of national pride, suddenly looked reckless and dangerous. Investigations revealed over 200 design flaws in the Apollo capsule. The pure oxygen atmosphere, the flammable materials, that goddamn hatch. NASA faced a choice: abandon Apollo or fix everything and push forward. They chose to push forward. The capsule was completely redesigned. The hatch could now open in 3 seconds. Fire-resistant materials replaced the flammable ones. The oxygen mix was changed. 21 months later, Apollo 7 flew successfully. The first manned Apollo mission, and 30 months after the fire, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked on the moon. Launch Complex 34 still stands at Cape Canaveral, abandoned now, a memorial. The plaque reads, "In memory of those who made the ultimate sacrifice so others could reach for the stars." Grissom, White, Chaffee. They never made it to space, but without their sacrifice, No one else would have either.